One morning, one bang, $40 million gone. No alarm went off, no cameras catch a thing. And the police, they had absolutely no idea how it happened. When detectives finally got inside the vault, there were no broken locks, no forced doors, just a perfect circular hole in a concrete wall, and on the other side of it a sewer you can see on screen right now. It all started in September 1974 when a man named Albert Spaghetti walked into the Societe Generale in Nice to deposit some cash. He wasn't planning to rob it, but then he noticed something strange. There was not a single alarm in the entire vault, not one. And so he did what any reasonable criminal would do. He came back the next day, hid an alarm clock inside his own safe deposit box, and set it go off at 1 p.m. Then he sat in a bar across the street and waited. 1 a.m. came and went, nothing happened, and that's when Albert made up his mind. He still had no idea how to actually get into the vault until he overheard a stranger mention that nice and an underground sewer system so massive you could drive a truck through it. Albert stopped walking because suddenly he had his answer. Okay, he got his hand on the city sewer blueprint. There was a ramp under the convention center that led into the main tunnel, which snagged beneath the street and ran directly under the bank. It was almost too perfect. You can see Albert quickly assembled a crew of around 20 men: tunnelers, electricians, welders, plumbers. Then he drove across France and Europe, buying equipment in tiny amounts from dozens of different stores. So no single purchase could ever be traced back. For 2 months, the crew disappeared underground every night. They drilled through rock, ran electrical cables from parking, garage, outlets, and camouflaged their tunnel entrance to look identical to the real sewer wall. Lookout with radius vast above ground. It was a military operation. Then they hit concrete the vault wall, but there was one problem. The president of France had just made an announced visit to Nice. The entire city was crawling with security. Albert made the call to wait one more week. And here the twist. While that was happening, Albert was actually at the president event as the official photographer. It's Saturday, the bank won't open until Monday. That gave them exactly 30 hours. They broke through, pried open hundreds of safe deposit boxes, and pulled out gold bars, stock of cash, jewels, stock certificate, and some very compromising photos of very popular politicians. Those they hung on the wall of the sewer tunnel like art. After 30 hours, the crew had dinner inside the vault, cracker on bottle of red wine, and before they left, they welded the vault door shut from the inside. Then they vanished into the sewer before sunrise, leaving one final message written on the wall. Police had mountain of equipment, tools, even urine samples, and found zero fingerprints. The crew had worn gloves. The entire time, multiple people had urinated into each bottle to run any DNA. They thought of everything. But 2 weeks before the heist, a police officer had responded to a routine call at a suspicious villa in the mountains. They took names and left. When the heist hit the news, that same officer had a gut feeling, and it turned out to be right. Albert fled the country, traveled through Guatemala, even called the CA to brag about the heist. Then, overconfident, he came back to Nice, and one afternoon, while having lunch with his wife, a waitress walked over to his table. She was there to take his order. After months of vague, useless court appearance on his 20th visit, Albert finally promised the judge a full account of the heist. He placed a piece of paper on the desk, then sprinted to the window, threw it open, and jumped. He landed on a car parked below, rolled out, hopped on a waiting motorbike, and disappeared. France shut its border and grounded its flight. Too late. Albert fled to South America, got plastic surgery, wore a wig, and lived in disguise. He sent the newspaper a postcard greeting from Albert. He even mailed $600 and an apology note to the owner of the car. He didn't France sentence him to lie in prison. He never served a day. He visited his mother whenever he felt like it, and he lived as a free man until he died of cancer in 1989.